And I don't know, you can use ChatGPT for some things, but I don't like ChatGPT because sometimes the quality of what comes out is mediocre. Yeah. Very, very mediocre. And then you ask yourself, why am I spending so much time putting in prompts? And then you keep on, sometimes brings out wrong information, puts in, things that should not be there. You understand? Why shouldn't I just do it myself? So the human experience, the gentleman that spoke about AI, professor from AI, said, the kind of data that we have as human beings. Look at Charles now, whether it's his eyes, from his ears, his nursery, experience of, for example, engaging with Mandela, for example, advising the Queen, and the likes. Those kind of things are not usually on blogs, online or social media. So, of course, ChatGPT has its benefits, but we also need to understand that there are limits to those tools.
So I flew to Tanzania. I got to the immigration gate, where they looked at my passport. They said, "You're in South Africa." I said, "Yeah." They said, "Fine, you can't enter." So they put me on the plane and sent me straight back again. That was how long I was in Tanzania. These are these Cicero Awards, which I've won for speech writing. So if any of you need a speech to be written, all you have to do is give me money. But you're nice, so I'll do you a deal. But in fact, Alim said I've won 3, but I've won 4. Because this speech here actually won 2 Cicero Awards, one for technology and one for foreign policy.
Uncertainty.
Very good, yeah. Uncertainty, very good. What else?
Also control.
Disruption, yeah.
Surprises.
Surprise, yeah.
Confusion.
Yeah, I mean, all these things. I think the key thing is you don't expect it. Because if you expect it, I mean, there are bad things that happen that you expect, but I think the essence of a crisis, for most purposes, is we don't expect it. There's lots of, I don't know if you did this yesterday, there's lots of ways of looking at analysing categories of crisis. Not that we want to spend much time on that, but you might get a local crisis. This crisis happens in Milton, Keynes, or it's in this hotel, but it's not over there. Or it might be a regional crisis. There might be some sort of collapse or a tsunami or something. Car crash or a nearby bomb is quite local. But a tsunami or a coup d'etat or something much bigger can be very general.
I said to thrive in this context of vocatilia, you must have vocatilia. To say, what does it mean? So you must be visionary, you must show understanding, clarity, agility, be trusted, discerning, and resilient. So in this day and age,
it's not that much shorter in your second life. You have to think about what you're going to do. That is a long time. And then you have to think, what do I want? Do I want money? Do I want to have an interesting life? Do I want to have influence? Do I want to be on TV? Do I want to have a big social media presence? What is it I actually like doing? And what am I good at? And that's not easy to figure out. So you've got to think hard about those very basic questions about yourself and then make some decisions.
It's one thing to set yourself up, it's another to actually get in the business. And so your point about the phone ringing, that is something I'm still kind of learning my way through. And so I literally, in the course of a week, can go through kind of, God, people want me to go and talk at conferences and do all sorts of things, and it's all too much, and I'm meant to be enjoying myself, and why am I involved in all of this? To 48 hours later, I'll be thinking, nobody's contacted me, no one's ever going to contact me again. So some of this is about your self-belief and self-confidence. I'm then also a great believer in just going out and finding out about things. So I go to quite a lot of conferences and business discussions, not really with the idea of picking up business, but simply because I'm interested. Because what I enjoy is hearing about other countries, is hearing about other sectors, and meeting people. And that's why I've come along today.
The trick, by the way, how you can make your speeches interesting. Just say, which section do you work in, sir?
Financial services.
Financial services, okay. You might say, okay, well, I've got to give a speech at a financial services conference. Please, AI, I want a 6-minute speech about financial services, and I want it to contain the word giraffe, and I want it to contain the word sexy. And it'll give you a speech containing the word giraffe and containing the word sexy. And all of a sudden, that's starting to be quite interesting. Because most speeches at a financial services conference don't have the word giraffe and they don't have the word sexy. So you can use the AI in a way to help you come up with ideas to make things a bit different. But if you just say, give me a speech, it'll give you a speech, but it won't be very good. So the reason you pay me to write a speech for you is that I will give you a good speech.
So you only focus on what is important and urgent. Others you can delegate, others you can ignore, others, you can do later. So I think it's critical that, because we're going to all face crisis, but how do we respond to the crisis? How do you turn it around? Excuses don't count. What matters most is result. So we have to consistently learn. And we can learn from anybody. We can learn from someone who was saying I should watch National Geographic. I can learn a lot from that yesterday. Now I picked that up. We can learn from even a kid. We can learn from the cleaner, the driver. We can learn from anyone. So it's really critical that we listen. We need to, as Ambassador Charles Crawford would say, read the room. Because I remember one CEO, I think it was Citibank, CEO of Citibank said to me, Dr. Alim, I used to think I was very influential. Then I stopped being CEO of Citibank. And places I could knock on, they would not take my calls anymore. I couldn't gain access. So I realized that it was Citibank that was opening the doors for me. Citibank brand was stretching to, enhance my own personal brand. But I then got to realize that beyond holding a position, what relationship am I building? What am I doing beyond that? So he then became CEO of, I think, First Pension, and then he changed his attitude. And he, now that he's no more there, he can still knock on doors and it's opening. A champion of communication excellence. Join me, welcome me, my friend, I yours, Charles Crawford. Yay!
Our colleagues in the group I work with, another former ambassador. She was ambassador to Chile in Latin America, but she helped design the British government's overseas program. So she's here as well.
In the months and years ahead, we are looking forward to seeing a bigger, stronger, and more vibrant TEXEM.
I would influence or give guidance to people to ensure that they also participate in this course and gain maximum insight from the course.
I'd like to say that to Dr. Alim that he has done a great job.
He continues in his strides so that maybe by the time he celebrates his 20th, we'll all gather here again in the UK. If not participating in a program, just coming here to be part of TEXEM 20th anniversary will be worth the trip.